13 things mentally strong people don't do. Take back your power, embrace change, face your fears, and train your brain for happiness and success by Amy Morin. Now, it's written by a psychologist, and it starts outlining the bereavements and challenges that she's faced, many of which were unexpected in her life, and how she needed to positively choose to think in such a way to overcome these challenges. Because what it is, it's about how interpreting and understanding your emotions and how they influence your thoughts and behavior. So don't go about feeling sorry for yourself, and try not to actually think I deserve better or self-pity, because this really is holding you back. If you can even think of the silver lining in any bad situation, you'll be much more likely to experience joy and happiness. Practicing gratitude is extremely important. Do this every day. Some people would write down things, but it's not necessary. As long as you're daily practicing gratitude, and it's best also to encourage others around you to do the same. So stop a moment, think of what you're grateful for. Now, clearly restart, because we want the YouTube algorithm to like me. So we're going to continue here with about empowerment, and that's realizing that no one else has the power to control how you feel. This is purely down to you. I quite liked some of the research studies it mentioned in this book, and you may well have heard of the locus of control, an internal locus where you think you can have an impact on everything, and an external locus where you think that has the control over me. Well, the aim is actually a bilocus of control. This is trying to get the balance right, so you know which things you can apply yourself, which will increase the chances of your success, but also being aware of the external factors that you can't control and how these play in a part. There's a little bit about people pleasing. These are people often who will say something that they want or they think somebody else wants. The example is a woman goes for shopping with a friend, and then the next day they think, oh, I'm obliged to take her shopping again, when the other lady would rather stay at home and attend to some things in her house. But both of them don't communicate, and they think they have to do this, they ought to do this to help the other. So this, with a lack of communication and two people pleasers, you're often getting people doing things that neither of them want. So just be aware, you can be kind, you can be generous without being a people pleaser. And people pleasers may say, or anybody, but they may get frustrated and they may say, you're always 30 minutes late, head wagging optional. But really what they should say is, I'm frustrated that you appear always to be late. And that really just switches the conversation and can be more productive. Now, it's interesting how you have studies, often functional MRI studies, but things where they show somebody a screen and see which scenario makes them happier. So if you see somebody who is doing something and achieving well, surprisingly that gives most people less happiness than seeing a rich professional have a misfortune, like getting splashed by a puddle by a taxi. And in part, this is because we've been indoctrinated to think rich professionals are bad. But the main point for you to remember is that resentment is toxic. It can easily consume your entire life if you're not careful. And a great study from 2013 called Envy on Facebook, a hidden threat to users' life satisfaction, actually demonstrated people felt anger and resentment when their friends showed Facebook vacation photos. And then they were also annoyed if a friend got lots of happy birthday messages on Facebook. Frighteningly, it said that the people who have a lot of negative emotions when looking at Facebook, then it put this over and generally have a decline in their general life satisfaction. So this isn't good. Ideally, if you're using Facebook, it should be for planning events and communicating with people and having joy when you're looking at the success of others. Just talking about others, be careful not to compare yourself to others, because you yourself, you have your own unique set of talents, you've got your life experiences, and really you should be comparing yourself with how you were yesterday and in the past, and measure how you're growing as an individual, because that's what matters, what you're doing and contributing to the world and others around you. When it comes down to what you're actually doing, think about your behaviour, and your words and behaviour really should align with your beliefs, so you can then have a truly authentic life. Focus on what you can control is the main thing. Focus on what you can control, live it, and have a great life. I hope that's helped you, and I look forward to seeing you all next time. Do take care.